You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan.
Welcome back to Where You Live. I'm Gene Sullivan, and I'm broadcasting from the True North Painting Studios. The show is brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency, and Extreme Exteriors. Before we get back into our subject today, I'd just like to let all our listeners know we've got a free gift for you. We put together a bi-monthly newsletter called What's New. A lot of what we'll talk on the show, we write about in further detail. People that are on the show are contributors to that newsletter. It's a great resource. Thousands of people are receiving it, and you can get yours either electronically or by mail just by giving us a call at 952-922-2500 and ask for Lori, and she'll make sure that you start receiving your very next copy. Now, we're talking about this July 16th Star Tribune article, and it's saying that property taxes are going down with the help of state aid. And I'm just saying, how come there's this double standard? We don't hold our state politicians to the same standard that we do a homeowner association board of directors. And why? That reason is because of what I call the bureaucratic paradigm. Okay, the larger something becomes, the harder it is to get to wrap your head around it. The more disconnected we are from those numbers because you're dealing with numbers that are much larger. And so we're talking about the state saying, oh, we're saving you money and we're going to save you $49 million. But the question here is, how can you save $49 million when you're requiring an extra $2 billion? Let's put this in perspective, okay, for everybody that lives in an HOA, shall we? Let's say that the state government is an HOA, okay, the homeowner association. But to make this example easy, okay, and numbers to be clear in our head, let's not use these huge numbers. Let's make them a little bit more realistic, okay, shall we? So let's take a look at just 4 items. And there's a lot more than that a homeowner association will deal with. But let's deal with these 4 items. Grounds care, okay? That would be snow removal, the lawn. Insurance, because you've got to insure the property in case of fire, tornado, that kind of thing. Utilities. Now, if you live in a townhome, you still have utilities because you're paying for water, for irrigation. If you're in a condo, the utilities may be paid for gas and heating as well, okay? And then also maintenance and just basic repair. We know that things need to be done. They need to be repaired. They need to be attended to. So let's say your HOA dues are $175 a month and you spend $35 a month in grounds care, $30 in insurance, $40 in utilities, $70 for maintenance and repair. What's happening here, if I can put this in perspective, that our state legislators are saying to us, they're saying, we're saving you money. We're saving you $49 million in property taxes. That would be like the HOA board saying, we're going to save you money on grounds care. Instead of it costing you $35 a month, it's going to only cost you $31 a month. We're going to save you $4 a month on the cost of grounds care. Isn't that wonderful? But what they don't tell you is that insurance, even though they're saving in that area, insurance is going from $30 a month to $31, so there's an increase of $1. Utilities are increasing from $40 a month, now up to $44, so that's another $4. So now we're talking about another $4 a month here. And then maintenance and repair, and that goes from $70 to $75. And now you're saying, isn't that great? Instead of paying $175 a month, you're paying $181. But your board of directors are saying, we're saving you money because we saved you $4 on grounds care. Wouldn't most people laugh at those board members at an annual meeting and said, yes, you're saving me $4 a month in one area, but you're costing me $6 more a month in so many other areas. And that's exactly what's happening here with the state budget and with property taxes. We're being told, our legislators are saying, isn't it a great thing that we've done for you here? We're going to save you money on your property taxes. But are we saving money? No, the end result is that HOA, called the state of Minnesota, is requiring a lot more than the $49 million saved. They're turning around asking for another $2 billion. So I guess we're really only saving, that would be what, 1,900,000, and we're spending 1 million. That would be $1,950,000. Does that sound right?
Something like that.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. But we're spending a lot. The idea, we're spending a lot more, and we're not really saving anything at all. So what's really going on with this tax? Is it really a tax savings? Well, I've got a number of issues with this whole thing, and here are my issues. Number one, of course, is the whole idea that there's a savings of money. We're not talking about a savings. As I've been talking the last couple segments here, instead of saving $49 million, we're spending $2 billion more. How is that saving money? Okay, so we aren't. Number two, let's take a look at what's really going on here. And this is something that really bothers me, and that is how inefficient government is. And this is something that's real important, because even which government entity taxes you is going to determine how efficient the money is used. Now, the property taxes are generally something that the city or county ask for. Why? Because those are the taxes that are to take care of the items that are in that city, in that municipality. They're to take care of the streets that I drive on because my house is in that city. It's to provide me with the sewer and water underground that comes into my home in that city. It provides the money for the police force, the fire department that I want in that city. It provides for maintenance of the parks that I use and enjoy as a citizen of that city. It helps in going to money to take care of the schools where I send my kids in that city. And it seems to me that the best way to have government run is to have government as close to you as possible. The more close government is to us, the more efficient it is. And it needs to be. The larger, more bureaucratic it becomes, the less efficient it becomes. And if you take a look at the state finance, they will say that every $1 that comes in, $1 of tax that comes into the state coffers and now gets turned around and gets to be returned to the city for the city credit, city aid, and then that's for the property taxes that we're talking about. For every dollar that's collected, only 68 cents goes back. Why? Because 32 cents is used up for additional handling. Okay? Because we've got another level of government that's being involved that needs to be paid to take care of accounting. And so it's very efficient. So if you want a dollar, if you don't like being taxed any more than I do, I want to know that my tax dollar is being spent. If I have a dollar that's being taken, I want a dollar spent on the service that's being provided. I understand that administration is going to be a part of it, and so you'll never get 100% of every dollar just for the service that's being provided, but I want it to be as close as possible. But now that you have the state collecting money, and then now they are being benevolent and giving some of that back, they take some of that for the running of the state before it gets back. And so for a dollar collected by the state, only 68 cents goes back. It seems to me very inefficient. If you really want to talk about lowering tax dollars on property taxes, why doesn't that happen on the city level? You know, some politicians were really upset a few years ago because they said with our former governor, they said, you know what? He cut out state aid to cities. And so that means that people were crying that cities had to raise the property tax. Well, yes, they had to raise the property tax. But guess what? The taxes that were raised were more efficiently spent because there wasn't that whole extra level of government to take that away. And so in essence, there was a little bit more of efficiency being taken care of. I would like to see that happen. I think it seems to only stand to reason. If you live in the city of Crystal, then your taxes for your property in Crystal ought to go for the things that you enjoy. If you live in Bemidji and you're taxed, the taxes that you get taken from you for your property in Bemidji ought to be used for the services that you enjoy in Bemidji. It makes sense. And so that's what I think needs to be done here, is there needs to be greater efficiency. There's a couple of other things that I'm kind of concerned with this whole mess, but we need to take a break right now. So let's do that. When we come back, I'll kind of wrap up this subject about property taxes. Are we really saving anything? More after these messages.